What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Veil. Today, we got some super awesome guests. I'm really excited to have them on the show and get into the conversation. We got Mark and Andrea from Spectral Paranormal. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good,
Hey,
buddy.
how are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. This past weekend it was like really cold, and now it's really hot where I live, and so I'm
It's been
sweating.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here sweating in the house, just like, oh my god, super super
Now
hot
let me
right.
ask you a question. Do you still have the length of the beard?
Yeah. Well, so I trimmed it up this weekend. I cut it down a little bit.
Love the beard.
Thank you, thank you. I cut it down this weekend because it was getting uncontrollable. I started looking like Alaskan bush people, and I was one step away from becoming a Yeti. So I had to tame myself a little bit.
We have to talk to Brandon Marsh from the Phillies. He's pretty long there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so it was getting to a point where where it wasn't growing, it was starting to die off a little bit, and I was like, just trim it off. I don't want to look absolutely terrible for my
It's
interviews
awesome
this
though.
week. So, absolutely.
hmm
So Mark, Andrea, would you like to give a formal introduction of yourself?
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're doing
All
it
right.
because you always do it.
All right. I'm Mark Lockhart. And this is Andrea Stevens. Both of us in that are how can I put it? We're both sensitives and we're both magnets. And when we met each other, neither one of us knew anything about that part of each other. And I used to do paranormal research. I was never really on a team. I would be used to walk in and verify if a place was haunted. Then once I said yes, they'd be like, "All right, have a good night," or I would just stick around and do some things. But I never really enjoyed the way that people treated uh, spirits like dogs and cats and made them play fetch and things like that. So I always thought that was kind of weird. And I always said to myself, if I ever had a team, of course, it would be more respectful and, we would do the things the right way. So I ended up getting in music and stuff like that. And I stayed into that. And I just kind of crept away from the paranormal. And then at some point in my life, I met this beautiful woman. And we started planning a trip to Salem, Massachusetts. That was the very first thing that we did. And that's when we kind of found out about each other because we started like discussing things and feelings and sensitivities that we were having there. And it was just very beyond bizarre that I met somebody that had the same things that I did. So we had this hunger for knowledge and stuff like that with the paranormal. So we started really investigating things and reading up on things. And then one day out of the blue, we just kind of decided, like, why don't we do something and we could do some investigations and we'll take it from there. It was supposed to end up being small at first, and now it's blowing up into like a beast. So
That's very odd, and I'm not saying odd isn't bad. I mean odd isn't good, because my last episode that aired right before this is a lady from Pennsylvania. She's from Philly. She's a psychic medium, and she took a trip to Salem, and it unlocked everything. There's weird parallels happening right now, right in front of me that I'm seeing, and
There's a lot in Salem.
yeah, yeah. And I said it to her, and I'll say it to you. Salem is like the mecca. I would suppose for paranormal activity, paranormal research, or just unlocking some special gifts that you might have. And it's weird. I'm finding that as I do every episode, there's parallels between everybody. It's amazing and beautiful. It's pretty awesome. So before we get into some of the heavier topics, how was your day?
our day is pretty good. I mean, we both work regular jobs besides doing this. Eventually, in time, we're hoping that this is going to like really take off and we could do this full time. And because we both have a love and passion for it, we have a very genuine connection with the spirits that we encounter. Unlike all these other groups that are out there, you go on YouTube, you watch these groups. I mean, I'm not going to really name drop, but there's some really horrific fakers on YouTube, and it's very disheartening because it kind of hurts our field. But when me and Andrea go into an investigation, and that we like to try to make a nice connection with the spirit. Um, we try to understand, why they still remain, why they haven't crossed over into the light. Um, what's the situation that's holding them back from moving forward and going on with their lives. A lot of it is residual, it's attachment. Some of them, like, they get so used to being in a place and there's a certain comfort there. And from my communications with spirits, a lot of them are afraid to cross over because they know once they go into that light, they're done. They're not going to come back down here. So a lot of them have loved ones they still watch over and things like that. So like I said, we try to build a good rapport with them on our investigations. Our very last investigation, for example, when we got to the very end of it, we were on the stage, and I asked all the spirits if it was okay if Andy sang for them, and they all said no in unison. And it was the funniest thing, and it's on video, and it'll be on our new video coming out tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's pretty funny. So when you do people around you know that you guys investigate, like in your daily lives, like at work and stuff?
Some.
Yeah.
Some.
Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah, some. She's a nurse, and I pretty much am an accounts payable specialist. It's for a big company. So, like I said, we have our normal jobs that we do, and we try to, like, take these thought processes out of our heads while we're doing our regular work. And that, but it's hard sometimes because of the investigations we do, and sometimes it impacts us. It depends on the situation. We feel, being sensitive, we feel a lot of the emotion and the sadness that the spirits feel when they're feeling overwhelmed or whatever. That, like, we feel that energy too. So sometimes it follows us. It'll follow us home.
How when you share some of these things with people that you're close to, what is the general reception that you get?
Amazement. Usually, all my friends and everything else love it. Like, they love watching the videos. They're like, they always bust me and saying I'm working with a little YouTube celebrity.
I think it's mixed. I think there's some people who are really open to it and they want to hear more about it, but there's other people that are just like, no, that's not possible. That's not real.
Mm.
So I think it's mixed.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. And I say this almost every episode, but people in your field back in the 50s, 60s, 70s would be considered crazy and would
Yeah.
be put in insane asylums. So really what you're doing is you guys are stepping out of that stigma per se. And
Mhm.
you guys are really showing that this is real, right? And like it's not just in your head.
Yeah.
There's proof. There's
Mm-hmm.
you got audio, visual. You have conversations back and forth with spirit, and like it's amazing to see where the paranormal field has evolved to now.
Yeah.
I mean, shockingly, everybody owes it to the Warrens. I mean, regardless of what they did in their lives, um, everybody knows that there's some dark sides to them, and they did some crooked things, but they opened the door for everybody in the whole paranormal spiritual world. And we've been to their house, like, we saw their house, and we've been to their graves and stuff like that, and we paid our respects and stuff like that. And we do have, like, it's kind of weird. It's like a love and hate relationship with them. Like, we love what they were able to do. We love the path that they set for everybody else. We know that they were very genuine people when they first started. They really, I mean, Ed and Lorraine really wanted to help people, but at some point, the dollar sign showed up, and they did have to make a living. I mean, like everybody else does. Unfortunately, they just embellished a lot of their stories and stuff like that. And then there's other things that happen between their marital relationship and that. But like I said, we're not into their personal life. We just care about what they did in a professional level. And even though a lot of it wasn't good, they did open the door for us, which allows us now to move forward and hopefully become a respected duo in the paranormal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So stepping into some of that, I think it was Mark, you and I were talking a little bit, or maybe it was another investigator, and they said, and I want to run this by you and see if you
Mhm.
agree. They said, and I agree that TV kind of killed the field of of paranormal investigation, whereas the Ghost Adventures,
Mhm.
the
Ghost
Ghost
Hunters, yep.
Hunters, yeah, all of those
And
kind of killed and overhyped. Um,
Zach Baggins.
yeah,
Mhm.
dude, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of faking, I think, just to get that money. So
Yeah.
it has kind of made a little bit of a joke of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so one of the other investigators that I was talking to, he said he said that the first documentary they came out with was amazing, and then everything after that was doctored up. And I mean, I'm not in the field, I don't understand, one thing from another, but as a fan, prior fan, somebody who caught on the back end, I realize how doctored it really is. And to see you two going out, and I watch your content, I watch it, and going out and doing investigations the way that you do and setting the standard for other people to follow, I think that's very important. And so right off the bat, I want to say thank you.
Oh yeah, no, you're welcome, man. We appreciate that, and when we do our investigations, we do try to separate ourselves from everybody else. Andrea and I, we both specialize in communication. We do a lot of ITC because we're sensitives and we're magnets, and that we do draw a lot of energy, and it's a lot easier for us to use said phone apps that everybody has a differing of opinion on. I'll tell you right now, there are 3 apps. I mean, usually phone apps are crap. I'm not going to lie, they are, and we've tested a lot of them. But there are 3 that we definitely use all the time, and we always get 100% intelligent communication. We shut off our Wi-Fi, we shut off our locations, we're in airplane mode, and then we always make sure, as you watch their videos, we always make sure they say our names.
Yeah.
And when you do that, that shows that you can't fake that unless that you have an app that was created where you can implement words or your name and stuff. And I know there's things like that, but we are 100% genuine, and everything that we do is genuine that you guys see in the video.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think that is really important to get those to get some kind. If you're going to step into that world, get some kind of devices that actually work and that aren't like pieces of crap, or apps that
Yeah.
work.
Well, we
Um,
have, that's the thing is we have so much, like we have a lot of equipment and we tried a lot of different things, and we don't ever get the perfection of our investigations like we do with the 3 apps that we use.
Mhm.
We've used so many different things like Necrometer, Necrophonic, and Spirit Talker are the main 3 that we use. And like I said, if you watch our videos, you will see intelligent communications. You'll see intellectual answers. I mean, the one bar that we just did, the Andy Gavin's, there's a part in the video where you see me say, "Where are you?" and it says down, but then it whispers, and it's so intelligent that it'll sit there and it'll say, I said, "Was it you that set off the REM pod?" And it goes, "Yes, REM pod." It actually said the whole thing, which was mind blowing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's proof, and right there.
Absolutely. So what was when before you guys decided to become a duo, did you guys investigate a location and say, this is what I want to start to do and work toward becoming something bigger?
Did we
We
kind of,
did. We did because we kind of did it, not a lot in Salem, but a little bit in Salem, and then we took a trip to Gettysburg and the Cashtown Inn and the Balladary Inn. We kind of did like a mini investigation there, and we just decided that we can do this. We have a connection, and
yeah, we
we
did.
get a lot of evidence.
We dipped our feet in the water that way. And the funniest thing is our very first, because I mean, like we were still learning how to do things and everything at that point. Like we were still on the verge of deciphering if something's an orb or if it was an air particle and all these kind of things. Like we were still learning everything. But the funny thing is, our very first investigation was like a lot of people's biggest investigation. Our very first was the Conjuring House. So it kind of broke us in, and then from there we just took off, and now we're full steam ahead.
What was your experience like in the Conjuring House? I know it's different for everybody.
Well, I will tell you this. I mean, then you can give me, Andy, I'd like you to give your perspective of it. But a lot of people go in there, like I said, a lot of you all watch YouTube videos, and then they're always constantly yelling demon, and there's evil, and people are getting thrown themselves in the walls, and all of that is all bull sugar. I'm not going to curse in your show, but we'll just say that.
Say what you feel. Say what you feel.
All
It's
right.
all
So
right.
yeah, a lot of it's bullshit. When we were there, like I said, we feel the energies and stuff like that. So we were there for quite a bit, and there was nothing that was malevolent there. There was nothing evil.
There's a lot of energy there.
There's
definitely a lot of energy, but we never felt like we were in danger of anything.
Yeah, and we were in a basement by ourselves, and they claimed that that's the most evil area. But yeah, there wasn't really a lot. I mean, we did communicate with the spirits there, and that, but it was nothing ever threatening except for that
there
presence you felt.
was.
But it wasn't really dark though.
I felt like it was dark, but I didn't feel in danger. I went into the room where the parent family had the seance. They have it set up as a sitting room now.
Yeah.
And there was just a dark, just huge presence that I feel like just stood right behind me the whole time I was there. I could feel him the whole time I was in that room. But again, I never felt like I was in danger or anything. I was never afraid.
Yeah, we mostly talked to Henry. Henry was a little boy there that we instantly had a pretty good connection with him up in the birthing room. But yeah, I mean, we experienced things there, but it was nothing like all these fake channels do. So.
Yeah, I've noticed, and some of the other investigators I've spoken to have said this common thing across the board, and I never really thought about it until I stepped into this, doing this, interviewing people. It's all about intention. If you step into it with the intention of I'm going to find something dark or evil or malevolent, you're going to, because that's what you're asking for. That's what you're manifesting. But if you step into it with I want to get evidence of the paranormal, I want to document this, right? That's what you're going to get. Is that something that you guys have found out?
Yeah, I mean, but there's been other places like we've been to too that a lot of people said that there was these horrific demons and stuff from. And like I said, these places like the Vasilia Axe House will be eventually going to do that one, and I can't wait for that because everybody that goes in there, like I said, they have this big thing with these really crazy dark presences, and people go so far to literally fake and act and throw themselves in the walls, acting like they're being attacked by demons, and that just blows my mind. But it makes our field kind of a joke, And then when you tell people about what we do, then they sit there and go, "Oh, was there a demon? Did it grab you?" Like it's all from that far fetched crap that you see all over YouTube. Now.
Not that there isn't dark stuff like that, because there is.
There are, yeah, but it's rare.
Not as common
hard to,
as they make it out to be.
Demons are extremely rare to go into. If you guys ever hear people on YouTube, like the three young kids, I swear to God, every episode they encounter a demon. I'm just saying. But it's aggravating to me. But yeah, demons are extremely rare to come across. There are dark spirits. There are spirits that have ill intent, but they're not demonic. You know what I mean? They'll be mischievous. We ran into a couple of those types, but nothing demonic. Knock on wood.
yeah. Let's not jinx ourselves.
Yeah.
So you guys have investigated quite a few places. What are some dream locations you have on your list?
Good.
Definitely the Velisca Axe House.
Yeah.
I want to go to that one.
What else?
That
one's very doable. What's the next one?
Well, I kind of want to do the murder house in Salem, but I also don't because it scares the hell out of me.
That one had dark.
That one was really like we were just standing on the sidewalk outside of that one, and the darkness that came off of that was overwhelming. So I'm a little afraid of that one.
Dracula's Castle.
Oh yeah, Black Tepe's. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Other than that, I'm just trying to think. I mean, well, we're going to be doing Tombstone eventually. We do want to do. I know a lot of people say the Birdcage Theater has lessened with its activity in it, but I still would like to do that. That's one of them.
That'd be awesome. That'd be pretty cool. I'm really excited to see where you guys go with this. Now we're speaking about some of the YouTube channels that are faking it. Is there any channels that you watch that you're like these?
Yes, we love the Ouija. Yeah, we love the Ouija brothers because they're legit. They debunk all their own stuff, and they don't really use a lot of gadgets. They go in and they kind of their investigations is more field based. And we'll be doing things like that, I think, down the road. Like we do like to show our viewers the actual interactions, and a lot of times if you go in there with no tools, you might experience a couple things, but the viewer themselves are not going to feel or see what you see. Like our last place, her and I both saw 2 full body apparitions. We didn't get them on video though because we were playing with our cameras. But and that's what happens. So you could sit there and be like, well, I just saw a spirit in full form, and then everybody's like, okay, that's nice. You have a picture. There, a lot of it's hearsay. So it's a little tough to do investigations like that. But I mean, there's also an adventure and a fun part of that too, where we don't have to set up everything, and you kind of just like live out the night and see what you can do and what you conjure up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's a few that I like to watch, but they tend to fabricate some things. I've picked up on that, and then there's a few that I've seen undeniable proof where I'm like, yeah, these dudes are legit, pretty legit.
Yeah.
There's a team out of Canada that does that, 2 guys, and then 2 guys that just travel all over the place. But stepping back into some other things, you guys went to the Warrens Museum. Do you guys believe in cursed objects?
I do.
I do too,
I
but
think they're rare. I think there's a lot of
there's a misconception though.
there is a misconception, and there's also a lot of places who just say that things are haunted to make money off of tourists. I don't believe that most objects are. No.
And all these people that say like from just everything that I've endured and everything I've read and everybody I've talked to about it, objects are never possessed by a regular spirit. You're never going to have the spirit of a little girl sitting in a doll. Not going to happen. Everything that attaches to an object is usually not really a spirit, but more of an entity, and it's more of a dark entity usually.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, I don't believe in, like, much like you guys say. I don't believe in all of these objects are cursed, right? I believe that energy transfers over and can transfer over. That's why I don't like going to thrift stores.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true.
That's why I always tell them never buy a doll.
Now, as far as as far as Annabelle goes, there's so many different viewpoints when it pertains to that object. I don't know. Like, I mean, me personally, I don't really think Annabelle's anything. I think she's just a doll, and I think that was a fabricated story.
We've gone into quite a few haunted object museums, and you don't really feel very much in those museums.
Yeah, that does raise a pretty big point about Annabelle, because we all have heard the story. If you're a paranormal enthusiast, if you enjoy horror movies, heard
Mhm.
the stories surrounding Annabelle. Oh, this person mocked Annabelle or whatever, and then they got into a bike accident on the way home. I mean, maybe that's true, but to what degree is that random, right? Like,
Or
to
a
what
coincidence,
degree,
yeah.
like what degree, to what degree is that psychotic, right? Because, like, yeah, the accident could have happened, but also the person could not have been paying attention, right? Like, there's
Right.
so many layers and variables that go into it, and it just so happens that the guy that was riding the motorcycle, he didn't live, so he can't tell the story about what happened.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't really know it, and so you do raise a good point that it can just be a doll that was fabricated for a story.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and once again, watching YouTube, some terrible, but I watch BuzzFeed, right? And BuzzFeed, they went into the haunted museum, and one of the guys that was on the investigation literally sat there and shit talked Annabelle exactly how they told you not to. Nothing happened.
Mhm. Those are the
Right?
2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like them because the commentary, the banter between the 2 of them.
Oh yeah, they're funny.
Yeah.
Those are funny.
Absolutely. But anyways, I kind of got thrown off thinking about that. But anyways, it shows that that story could be fabricated completely.
Right.
Yeah. So what is next for Spectral Paranormal? What are you guys getting your hands into next?
The next investigation, I mean, we have a couple things lined up, but the next one that we're looking forward to is a place called AV Restaurant. And we are going to get that account. The story with AV Restaurant in Scranton is it used to be called the Banshee. And at one point it was a morgue.
They used it as a temporary morgue during the Spanish influenza.
Yeah, and it held a lot of bodies. And we spoke to the front end manager, And she was just telling me the other day that when she was upstairs, there was a little girl running down the hall at her, and then there was nobody there, and she saw it. So
Wow.
that's an exciting place. Yeah, I mean that's the thing that we want to do. We still have part 2 to do of our Forest Hill Cemetery. We did the first one. A lot of people that saw that video saw how wonderfully mouthed the spirits were when they communicated. But yeah, there's definitely some kind of dark energy there, though. We ran into it one time, and the last time we didn't. So who knows? Maybe in part 2 we will.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So one thing that I wanted to ask is you started doing investigations. I don't know if you started documenting things right away through video, but what got you to the point where you said, I want to start a YouTube channel and start uploading things?
Well, I would say that was more of my idea, and then I talked you into doing it, then you agreed on it. I decided that because I saw so many, like there was all these groups that I was watching, and all of a sudden I was like, are they really getting this much energy and this much activity? And like I started questioning things, and then the more and more I did research on it, I started realizing, oh my God, these guys are faking, and these guys are faking, and these guys are everything's for views and subs and money. There's no dignity. And for us, the idea of doing a YouTube page is to show people what a real, genuine investigation looks like. We're not shooting a movie. Like, yes, we have theatrical openings to our videos and stuff like that. We do that kind of stuff because it's entertainment. But when you get right to the investigation, it's really us investigating. We're not pretending to be these personalities or characters, and that we are who we are, and we just do what we do. And hopefully people see that and they respect that, and they can sit there and say, "Oh my God, these guys are genuine. Look at all the stuff these guys are getting." And that's what's going to separate us from boys and the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my first initial thought from when I saw your very first video. I was like, they're very genuine, right? Like they're not trying to do shit to make things look more appealing than they really are, right?
Yep.
Like you're not stepping on screen in complete darkness with like lights on you and being like, "We're gonna catch a demon today, brother." Like,
Yeah.
you're
I love those guys. I know.
right.
They're amazing. They're
Right? You
amazing
don't have the
people.
slick. You don't have the slick
No, we
back
don't
hair.
we don't have the same formula where we start a video off with all this editing and news and aerial shots from what the hell are those things called?
Drones.
Yeah, drones and all that kind of stuff that they do. I think at time we'll probably do something like that because I do like the way that looks. But then you do like a 10-minute comedy routine. Then you go into an investigation. And the best is like you have all these debunkers on YouTube now that actually find these guys and they debunk all their stuff. And then like they show you, like you actually see like an invisible string in the guy's sleeve where he pulls a ball down the stairs. And then like you could see the guy playing on his phone as he's sitting off the REM pod with an electronic thing. Like it's very humorous.
I think what bothers me the most is watching some of the investigations, and you see that they're getting so much activity, right? Or activity. It's like, why are you not staying here? Why are you not trying to get more, right? If
Right.
that is your job, if you're considering yourself to be an investigator, which kind of in a way is falls in the science world, right? If you're trying to get that, why are you not staying in that location, getting as much as humanly possible, and then
And that's
leaving?
what people don't see though. Like when they watch our videos, they'll see a 45-minute video and they're like, "Oh my God, you guys get amazing content and it's so fast and you guys get it." They don't realize that that's a 5-hour investigation
Yeah.
that we trim all of the silence and the non-crap and we get rid of it. Like when we do investigations, when we do a video, not an investigation, but when we do a video, we understand the people at home are not going to sit there and want to watch me and Andy spend like an hour to try to get like an interaction. So what we'll do is we edit the video, we have the build up, and then we have the activity happen. Again, it's like a 5-hour investigation. Like the last one we just did was 5 hours.
Mhm.
And it's a 40, like we just did the video, and I think it's 45 minutes on it. So 45 minutes out of 5 hours, but it's nonstop because you're getting 45 minutes of action. And that's what people want as an entertainment thing. You get your popcorn, your drink, and you're sitting there watching, these people interact with ghosts and stuff like that. And sometimes it is mind blowing and it's amazing. Like this last one, I mean, honestly, I can't say enough about it. I'm really pleased with the last investigation. We actually had knocks We had ghost footsteps coming up the stairs at her, and you actually hear them. And then we actually had real, genuine spirit orbs show up on stage.
I think the most impressive is we actually had the cat ball on the video picked up and moved.
Oh yeah. You actually will see it on the video. Like it actually picks up the cat ball and it goes all the way. I had to get used to the reverse. I have to go this way. And it moves and then it starts going off and that. But it's amazing because you actually see it happening.
Wow. That's wild.
And we were in the room and we didn't even notice it when it happened. We didn't even.
And we talked to Houdini for like 5 seconds.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, he'll be in the video.
He's making his grand appearance.
Yep. Well, he used to, the thing with getting back to that real fast, Houdini used to perform there. Mm-hmm. So Houdini was from Scranton. So when he started off his acts and everything else and to try to get everything nailed down, he performed in front of the live audience at the Ritz. Back then it was called the Poly Theater. And, there was a lot of people that said that they had seen his apparition and had interactions with him. I kind of found that hard to believe. I'm like, why would he be there? Because I know that in Scranton, there's a place called the Houdini Museum that actually he used to live at. I could see his spirit being there, but why would it be at the Ritz? And then when we were doing our communications, he actually came through. Spirits acknowledged that he was there, and he briefly came through for like a good 5 seconds, and that was done. But
that's awesome.
Go.
Speaking on Houdini, did you know that after he would do his magic, or in between doing all that, he would debunk people that were trying to claim that they were psychics and mediums and stuff. I find that very fascinating because I never knew that until I listened to a podcast.
Yeah, he was amazing. I watched a lot of his content, and like I said, we're from here. Scranton's like right down the road from us practically, and it's amazing to see the areas that he used to once perform. I mean, they all look different now, but you watch the videos and you just know he was there. And everything that he brought into that field is mind blowing. I mean, you wouldn't be having Chris Angel and all these other guys if it wasn't for Houdini. Houdini really opened the doors with that. And to this day, people can't even reenact his trickery, I guess you say.
Right. Absolutely. So I live in a town now that's a Civil War town in Maryland. And everybody around here is like, it's so haunted. I haven't seen a ghost. I haven't experienced anything in my house. There's a cemetery on the other side of this road. I haven't seen anything, nothing.
You're blessed.
Well, I'm not saying that I haven't in my life, but here and now I haven't.
We bring shit home all the time. It always follows. Like, I'm not even kidding you. We get attachments and they come home. We'll be sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden, like, the smell of cigarettes comes by, and nobody smokes in our house. Her and I will be sitting on the couch, and then we'll see shadows running through the kitchen. Just crazy stuff. And like Ari, her daughter, was back from college. Her bedroom door opened, and then it stayed like that, and then it literally just shut right in front of her, like as it was peeking at her. So
she hates it.
How do you guys handle that when those things
cleansing?
Happen? Bless cleansing.
Lots of cleansing.
But I don't feel like anything has really been bad or dark. Or
sometimes we just ignore it. Yeah, no, we do.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother
If
us.
it starts getting really annoying, then I'll do like a cleansing of the house with the sage and the salts and the oils and everything else. But for the most part, they don't really bother us. It is kind of weird knowing that there's certain entities in your home, and no matter what you're doing in privacy, using the bathroom, like they're probably sitting there staring at you, like you don't know. And it's the weird thing is like and even though her and I feel energies, and this is one thing we don't understand. So we can go in any haunted place and we could go, yes, there's spirits here, there's energy here. For some reason, we don't have that at our house. We don't feel them here. It's really bizarre.
Sometimes, but not strong.
No, not like it is on the other things. Yeah, the one time I felt something in the hall, but it's very rare that we feel it at the house. But they're here, so.
Yeah, go like you said. They could be watching you some of the weird, most intimate moments, and you never know. You catch that EVP that says, "Hey, nice poop, bro."
Yeah, intimacy. They're always watching. I'm just telling you, they're watching. They're probably like all around the bed, like applauding and going, "Yeah, you got this." You never know. It's
You
crazy.
did a good job, man. That was really great. That. Wish I would have known that when I was alive.
Yeah.
Goodness, goodness.
Mhm.
So, anyways, before we wrap it up, what advice or suggestions would you give to anybody that's aspiring to be investigators or that are sensitive and they want to start investigating?
Go ahead. You too.
Well, I just think because I feel like it's such a gift to be able to do it. I mean, how many people can say that they speak to spirits and they have that connection and can possibly help them? I would say just be true to it. I mean, you don't need all the tricks and all of the, you know what I mean?
The gadgets and
You don't need
toys.
all that fake stuff. I mean, just be true to it. I think it's like I said, I think it's a gift.
And I would say that if you are thinking about anybody out there that's thinking about doing this as a hobby, or if you want to become like a big YouTube sensation, whatever, just be true. You will build your audience in time. When people start seeing how genuine you are and what you actually do for the spirits, and you're not like treating them like animals, and you're not being disrespectful and stuff like that, people respect that more. So just be yourselves and try to find your niche, find what you're really good at with the spiritual realm. And like mine's communication, hers is like feelings and stuff, but she's really good at drawing a lot of things too. So it's like we bounce off of each other, and we do keep our team small. We keep it to two of us. We don't want anybody else. Number one, we love what we do. We get more energy when it's just her and I. You have a bigger group, less energy. Then you have to deal with people like, straggling behind, running late, and all that kind of stuff. We don't have to worry about that stuff. So just have fun. Just have fun with it. Enjoy it. Don't let it become an obsession, because it will take you over. You have to have a happy medium in there. But yeah, by all means. I mean, the more paranormalists, the merrier, as long as you are authentic.
I think a lot of people get that thought of instant gratification, instant success, and they see some of these other creators on YouTube that have 100 million followers or
Oh, it's
whatever. Or
crazy. Yep.
yeah,
And it's always the fakers. It's the fakers that have the big, huge subs. They have
yeah.
like 700,000, and it's like, we're sitting here and we're as authentic, but we've only been out for a little over a month now. But I mean, we're already I think we're edging towards 500 on YouTube, but we're over 700 followers on Facebook. So I mean, it's growing, and it's going to keep getting in bigger and bigger and bigger, and we'll get there. But like I said, it's the work that you put in, the connections you make.
Absolutely. It's and I'm pretty sure that it's the same in the paranormal field with content creation as with, podcasting. Everybody gets this thought of like instant success. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be Joe
Yeah.
Rogan. I'm gonna be Joe Rogan when I start podcasting. Sorry, I
Yep.
make no money out of this. I do this for the love of it, and I do
Yep.
it for the human connection.
Yep. Yeah, we just the investigation we did. Somebody asked him they were going to charge him $20,000 to do the investigation. We did it for free, and we got him, I guarantee, the best evidence he's ever going to get. So
20 grand?
yeah,
They were going to charge him $20,000 to do the investigation. Yep.
That is insane.
and that's the thing. We work for free. I mean, in time we might eventually look at different things like that, but like we do enjoy helping people. That's what we're in it for. We're in it to help the spirits, to help the people, the businesses that need verification, and they don't want somebody coming in screaming demon, and they want legitimacy. Then they will hire us, and then we do it for free, and we build them a beautiful video that they're able to use off of our YouTube, and they can use it any way they want.
Yeah, and just those poor people, and I'm gonna say this: those poor people, when those things, when they get exploited like that, and they're shoved on TV or on a video on YouTube, and it's like, they're forced to like change who they are. I feel absolutely terrible for them. Some
Yeah.
of these people are just camera shy, and you can
Mhm.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible. Sorry for the language. I
Oh no,
dropped
you're good, buddy. You can curse whenever you want.
it's my show.
Yeah, believe me. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, there's a lot of people I think that they had the best intentions, but I think when they started realizing they weren't able to get the evidence like her and I can, at that point you go through extreme measures to try to build your following. But like nobody wants to watch a boring video, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna implement their little trickery and things like that to try to get people to believe that hype, and that's what happens. They sub and they keeps building and building and building, but we're going to stick to our guns. We will never cheat.
Mark and Andy, where can we find you guys at?
You guys can find us on what is it? Spectral Paranormal YouTube, is it? Well,
Yep.
go on YouTube. It's something like that.
Spectral Paranormal Investigations on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah. No, let's talk about the handle. Not that I know our name. Well, it's something like that. But yeah, just look for Spectral Paranormal Investigations on Facebook and YouTube. You'll see this guy right here. That is called the Spectre. He's our little character, and you will know it's us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're everywhere that you can find them is going to be down in the descriptions, so you can go ahead, click their link, follow them, go on, watch all their content. It's amazing. They get amazing evidence. And I am super happy that they decided to come and sit and talk to me, Mark.
Oh, anytime. We'll definitely like to be back.
Absolutely.
I apologize for the nail gun. We did not expect.
Yeah,
the
we didn't
neighbors
know
to be
that.
doing
Yeah, we didn't know they were
construction.
doing that.
You know, that's okay. I didn't hear it. I have dogs running around upstairs. Okay, I can hear it. Y'all can't. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy. It's okay. But
Yeah, just shoot us an email whenever you want us to get back on, and that will definitely we could do like a Halloween thing or something like that. Whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
You let us know.
Absolutely. That sounds good. That sounds great. So, Mark, Andy, I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for sharing your experience. I cannot wait to talk to you guys again, and I cannot wait to see you guys grow as investigators and your channel grow. I think what you guys are doing is amazing.
We appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all, be good, and everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. I had a great time. It was a great conversation. Be good.
Take care,
Don't do
guys.
anything I wouldn't do. Bye.